Let's see if anyone can actually hear us. Just let us know in the live chat below whether it's okay. Well, good evening. Welcome to the Universal Stadium. Sholing against AFC Bournemouth under-21s. It's the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final. Luke Henry is alongside me. Luke, I'm going to bounce straight over to you. Are you excited for tonight?
I'm excited. It's going to be a very good game, but one thing for sure is, Matt, it's absolutely freezing as we sit here in the Universal Stadium. Hopefully the game will make us a bit warmer.
Well, let's hope so. I can tell you now, I can't feel my left hand already. It's going to be diving into my pocket quite a lot during this game. I can tell you that right now. Well, what can we say coming into this game? It's been an interesting couple of weeks for Sholing. This is the first time they've been back here at the Universal Stadium for a month now. Obviously, Bournemouth under-21s come here. They made a few comments about the pitch as they arrived, but I'm sure they'll be fine playing on there today. Sholing just going over to the far side in their red and white striped shirts as always, black shorts, black socks, just doing a few warm-ups, as are Bournemouth. Can you describe that? What colour shirt do you reckon Bournemouth is? That a turquoise sky blue?
Turquoise, sky blue, teal, you name it. Whatever it is, that's what Bournemouth are wearing. It's like blue on blue. It's a nice kit. The illustrious kit that Bournemouth always have. And like you say, Sholing in the traditional red and white stripes as well, with black shorts and black socks.
Very good indeed. The referee just putting the ball on the spot. We're waiting to go. The linesman just doing the checking of nets as always. A usual football match. That seems to be the thing now. I don't really understand why they have to make sure the nets are in place, but you know, obviously there's no holes in. You've seen the ghost goal before in the German league a couple of years ago, five or 6 years ago now. That was. Trying to think of which teams were playing. Can you remember? That's a quiz question for you if you can remember. Go on.
It was at Hamburg. I know that for a fact. I think it was at Hamburg, and I'm going to go with Hamburg versus No, Hamburg scored. It was Schalke versus Hamburg, I believe. And it came in from a corner, and I can't remember the striker, but I know he had blonde hair, and he put it in the side netting, and he went off with his hands in his head. And then when the referee signalled to a goal, he was in disbelief and tried to tell the referee that it hadn't stood. I'm sure. I think I might be wrong. Probably I are wrong, but I'd have to say Schalke versus Hamburg, and it was Hamburg that scored.
We'll have to do some Googling. I'll get you to search it up very shortly just to make sure that you're factually correct. Coming into this game anyway, Sholing's roots, they beat Brockenhurst 3-0, Newport Isle of Wight 7-0 in the second round. They beat the Royal Navy 1-0, and now of course we're in the quarter-final. For Bournemouth, they beat Eastleigh 8-1. Some goals from Pugh and Junior Stanislas as well there. Beat Horndean, of course, of the Wessex League 3-1 in the last round as Bournemouth do their little huddle. Sholing just getting themselves ready to go. It'll be Bournemouth to kick us off from right to left. Just running through the teams, Bournemouth have gone for Will Dennis in goal, Brooklyn Genesini, Jordan Zamora, Luke Nippard, Zeno Rossi, Harvey Bertrand, Gavin Kilkenny, he's the captain, Tom Dismore, Jake Scrimshaw, Jaden Anthony and Jake Cope. Sholing, Ryan Gosney, TJ Cuthbertson, Marvin McLean, Owen Roundell, Dan Miller, Owen Royal, Alex Sawyer, Byron Mason, captain, Dan Mason, Lee Wart and Jake Hall. And the game is underway. Bournemouth kicking off from right to left, as I said. Sholing, therefore, left to right. Was Dave Dyprove on the touchline. He's got his work cut out this evening. Only 3 losses of the season so far. Sholing just putting the pressure on early on as Bournemouth will play that one all the way back to Will Dennis in goal. Over towards the left-hand side, Zeno Rossi. Back again to the keeper, sporting a very bright yellow kit this evening. Here come Bournemouth up towards the halfway line, passing this one from right to left, over towards the left wing. Rossi again picking up the ball. Sholing just putting the pressure on early on, trying to get the early goal here, and it's a great breakaway from Owen Royal. Over towards the left is Byron Mason trying to take a strike on his right foot, and that one will be left for the keeper. Bright start for Sholing.
Bright start from Sholing, and they'll take a lot of confidence knowing that in this cup competition they haven't conceded a goal in any games. So that'll breathe confidence, but they have to start strong here at home at the Universal Stadium. But Bournemouth, you can see what they're trying to do already. It's going to try and keep possession for as long as they can.
We spoke to Clug secretary before the game. It's been a difficult few weeks for Sholing, of course, as we mentioned before kick-off. Dave Diper himself has stated that, you know, it's been very tough. The 2 losses in the cup games have really dampened things, but Sholing still unbeaten in the league, and this is another cup that hopefully they could get themselves into the final 4 as the ball drops now for Alex Sawyer, locking that one forward towards Jake Hall. So that will go through to Will Dennis. What are your thoughts on Sholing after those 2 cup defeats?
Well, it's all about how you pick yourself back up and go again. Yes, it's disappointing to lose, and of course a valiant display it was against Northwich Victoria. Despite the red card, they battled very, very well. It was a crucial part of the game, but then you've got to dust yourself down and go back. But they're doing very well in the league. Only one draw is absolutely astonishing, and they'll look to see that through to the end of the season, become invincible. I think they can do it. And what a season that would be for Sholing. Invincible, amazing achievement.
Sounds familiar from you, the invincible quote. Those of you that don't know my co-com tonight, Luke Henry, as the free kick goes in, I'll tell you in a second. It's going to drop for Mason, and he'll knock that one out of play. Luke, your North London team, what North London team is it? They play in red, I think. Red and white, something like that, yeah. So the invincible of, is it 2003, 2004? Yeah, there you go. If you don't know what team I'm talking about, it's Arsenal. That's Luke Henry's team to follow, of course. Bournemouth just lining up with the goal kick over on the right-hand side. Early stages in the game, of course. Very, very interesting indeed. Probably about 3 or 4 minutes in. Trust the stopwatch is working. That's been a hit all the way upfield, headed away by Mason. And this one will drop now for Bournemouth, making their way down the left-hand side. Lee Wart down the right towards Alex Sawyer. Sawyer now in a lot of space and level with the edge of the penalty area. Slips over, just about manages to recover the ball. He'll leave that one for Cuthbertson. In towards the box, very low indeed, almost towards Hull. Drops back for Byron Mason on this near touchline on the right-hand side. He's going to have to turn back and play it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Ryan Gosney. Gosney will now clear down his right-hand side. The linesman puts his flag up for offside. So decent attendance here tonight, Luke. Do you think most of these are Sholing fans or a few travelling from Bournemouth?
I think it's predominantly Sholing fans. There is a few Bournemouth fans here. I think it just goes to show that no matter what level of football, it does bring out football, and it's always for the fans. And it's nice to see, especially that the fans have braved out these cold conditions on this Monday evening. Of course, this game was postponed. It was meant to be on Thursday as well. So great effort from the fans, and hopefully it can be treated to a lovely 90 minutes of football.
Well, let's hope so indeed. This one's dropped towards Lee Wart on the right-hand side, in towards the box again. That one will go out for a goal kick. That's seen all the way out. And there are the noises from the Ultras stand to our right, from the Sholing faithful. Always around. Of course, travelling up and down the country, especially to Northwich Victoria, where we were last time we did a live commentary. Myself and Matt Ogley were there that day. Greg Dixon joined us, of course. I think Greg's listening today. He said he's got his pair of headphones, so supporting that new fresh trim, as we'd say these days, as well, isn't he? So very good. It is one to see. Go and find Greg and go and say hi. Over on this near touchline, Jordan Anthony trying to keep the ball in Bournemouth's possession. It seems as though Sholing have had the early possession of the ball, but this time it drops for Zamora. Down the left-hand side for Bournemouth now, into the attacking third, trying to make his way past Cuthbertson. He's done really well to keep the ball in his possession. Here's Jaden Anthony now in towards the box, and it's been cleared away by Dan Miller towards Cuthbertson. And that'll be out for a throw to Bournemouth. Great run down the left-hand side.
It's a very, very bright start from Zamora down the left-hand side. Good pace. And then he gave the ball to Jason Anthony as well. And he did very, very well, but great defending from Sholing.
Well, he's on his way in again. That'll be cleared away by Sholing. Dan Mason will chase this one, but that will be kicked out of play by Harvey Bertrand. Some good pressure there from Dan Mason, who we caught in the clubhouse trying to buy a drink. I think he wanted a Lucozade, but he couldn't get one, so he just settled for a Mars bar, I think. It's great to see that as well. Everyone knows everyone at these sort of clubs, and I think that's the way football should be run. Over on the far side anyway, the throw-in coming in towards the left, and that will be knocked up towards Sawyer and cleared away again by Bertrand, out for a throw to Sholing in the attacking third over on the left-hand side. Of course, opposite us are the dugouts. For those of you that know the Universal Stadium well, we're in the main stand on the press benches. Very well highlighted, actually. Press seats, blue seats. You can't miss us. So give us a wave if you're listening to us from inside the ground, and hopefully we'll see you wave, and we'll wave back. It'll be played again in towards the middle of the final third. Cuthbertson now looking to take the ball further forward for Sholing in towards the middle. Has to come back out to his right again, with a lot of pressure from Cope. And again, Cuthbertson in towards the box. And again, a comfortable save for Will Dennis. Sholing getting their way forward early on, Luke.
Yeah, they are indeed. Cuthbert's doing very well there, twisting and turning in and out. But when the final cross came in, it was a bit too weak, and there was no one in the box there. And easy in the arms of Will Dennis in goal for Bournemouth.
There's been a lot of talk in the past couple of days about Sholing having to play 7 games within the space of 3 weeks. Of course, with Thursday, it could have been 4 games within 10 days or 9 days. So do you think that's going to affect their fitness? Of course, it's only a part-time club at the end of the day.
Yeah, it will, but don't forget we were here last Thursday, weren't we, Matt? And we interviewed Dave Diper, who's always in good spirits as well. And he said the same thing. He said it could have been completely different. We could be out of all competitions and focusing on the league, and we wouldn't want that. So I think the players really want to play games week in, week out. Yes, it's tough, as you say. It's a crazy fixture schedule, but I'm sure the boys are relishing the challenge and have started really well tonight as well. So they show no signs of fatigue as it stands. Depends how the game goes on, then we'll see. But no, it's a big schedule, yes, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure the boys are enjoying it.
Do you think it sends out a message to the likes of Bournemouth and Southampton, all the Premier League clubs that moan about having to play Saturday, Tuesday, resting big players for big games? Do you think this is a message now from the non-league teams, such as the like of Sholing, that actually it can be done?
Absolutely, yeah, it's all about the love of the game. If you wanted to play 2 games back to back, you would. I'm pretty sure we used to play double headers when we were 14, 15 years old. I had to play one game and play back to back. So yeah, it's all about the love of the game, and I'm pretty sure though in the Premier League they'd be the same. But I don't know. It seems to me 7 games, 3 games in 7 days, and then you got the Premier League and don't forget the Championship. We see it all the time: Saturday, Tuesday. Yes, it's tough, but that's what happens when you play leagues like this. But you're showing a testament to all them teams above in the Premier League and the Championship, because there's been no minimum fuss as well. So it's great to see.
Well, we've been talking, there's been a lot of pressure from Bournemouth putting on the Sholing defence, pushing them all the way up towards the far side in the attacking third on the right-hand side and winning themselves a throw-in. Of course, you can't miss them in that turquoise, blue, teal, whatever you want to call it, kit. It's a lovely kit, by the way, I must say, to look at especially, because you can't miss them. In the meantime, Bournemouth playing the ball forward. Here's Nippund over towards the right-hand side now. He's got Owen Royal to try and get past. And now it's almost in towards the box. Run out for a goal kick. In fact, Ryan Gosney was all the way over towards the corner flag, just trying to clear the ball away for Sholing. And when the ball did drop back, Bournemouth do push forward quite a lot. Either way, Gosney will hold on to this one. Just wait for the team to settle over on the left-hand side from where he's going to kick. Just pulls up his socks, just to make sure his team are where he wants them to. And a massive right boot over towards the left-hand side. Headed away by Bournemouth over towards this near side, towards us. And Cope will play that one in field. Dinsmore over towards the right-hand side now, and Bournemouth can break forward again. Sholing getting back in numbers. Owen Royal trying to put the pressure on, and that one will almost drop through all the way for Cope. And Sholing going to have to clear this one down the line. Drops only as far as Zamora. Promising young talent for Bournemouth, it seems, as he skips his way through again, past Cuthbertson, in towards the box again. Kilkenny, Bournemouth's captain. Just going to have to turn and try and find the pass that he wants to over towards the right-hand side. Bournemouth playing with a lot of attacking flair, as we saw in their pre-match warm-up. They're not shy of putting the pressure on, even in the warm-ups between themselves. And it's a long shot taken from Tom Dinsmore, straight into the hands of Ryan Godney. Putting the pressure on now are the Cherries.
Yes, it's been a bright start for Bournemouth, especially Zamora down the left-hand side. He seems to be one to watch, not afraid to go past 1 and 2 players. But it seems to be Bournemouth's game plan. I think they're trying to get the ball down, use possession, but when they can, it's definitely trying to attack via the flanks. They're a very, very quick team, and I think as we see the game stretch, they'll probably like to go on the counter-attack just a bit more as well. But yes, Cherry's sort of getting into the game after Sholing's bright start and starting to get a foothold of possession.
Well, Bournemouth just playing the ball across the back at the moment with Rossi. He's going to bring the ball forward ever so slightly, back towards the centre of his defence. There is Dinsmore, who took that shot just a few moments ago. Bournemouth again trying to knock the ball forward. And Randall this time passing it through towards Dan Miller. And now Byron Mason will hook this one upfield. It's headed down and Bournemouth just about keep hold of possession. And Nippard's got plenty of time just to turn himself over towards the right-hand side. This one's played down the line by Bournemouth in towards the path of Jake Scrimshaw. Again, Scrimshaw picking up the ball. He's got support to the left and to the right. Scrimshaw again moving his way forward. Still going. And Byron Mason will have to clear that one back to his goalkeeper. And Gosney, massive right boot again. Clears this one over towards the right-hand side. Well, Jake Hall was being pulled back there, asking for a foul. Tried to stay up, fair play to him. And then ended up slipping over. Of course, calling for the free kick, not given by the referee. I can see Dave Miller over towards the right-hand side, just smiling there. So I'm sure Dave was shouting for a foul. Red card offence, according to him, probably. Yes, indeed. Bournemouth now bringing the ball back upfield again. This time it's come off the foot of Anthony. Here is Cope in the middle of the park, in the centre circle. And again, Anthony will now bring this one past Byron Mason. He's turned in well. And again, Bournemouth will break forward down the left-hand side. Kilkenny in towards the box. And that one's actually gone over and hit the tree behind the goal.
Yeah, nice little play from Anthony, great little skill. And they do look potent when they're driving, 4 of them all together. Be a bit of the final ball there from Cope. It wasn't, like you said, Matt, went out on the tree, so didn't trouble Gosney in goal. But yeah, it seems to be an interesting game. I think now Bournemouth have settled. I think they're trying to look to counter as much as they can and try and each get first goal of the game.
Oh, just under 15 minutes gone here at the Universal Stadium. It's still Sholing 0, AFC Bournemouth under-21s 0. It's the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final here. We're doing a live stream on YouTube for Radio Sonar, Southampton Solent University's student radio station. And Sholing just making their way forward down the left-hand side. Lee Ward almost getting a toe poke into the net as Bournemouth struggled to defend. Either way, they've come away with the ball now. Here is Gavin Kilkenny. And the referee will blow for a free kick. Bournemouth take it quickly down the right-hand side. Here's Anthony. Tried to float the ball in towards the box, and again, that one's gone over the back of the fence. And a new ball is required. Now, Luke, I don't know how much you know about our live comms, but me and Matt Ogley like to play a little game whenever we go on a live comm. We like to go, how many balls are lost during the game? I think I've counted 3 so far over the stand. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we do keep a tally. I think our record at the moment is 8. So just to let you know about that one. So keep an eye, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, because it's a pain in the backside for people to try and retrieve the balls. As this one's cleared away by Gosney upfield again. Bournemouth winning the initial header and knocking this one back down. Kilkenny playing down the right-hand side with Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw holding the ball, and he's got Dan Miller trying to block him, and Dan Miller does well to try and keep the ball. Bournemouth, though, with the ball back in their possession over on the right-hand side. There's pressure being put on by Marv McLean. Scrimshaw floats the ball in towards the box. And Sholing will clear this one away again down the right-hand side. Hall is far back to try and support. Here is Jake Hall in his own half, upfield, over the halfway line. And again, Rossi just turns, keeps the ball alive for Bournemouth, up towards the halfway line, playing again down the right-hand side. Kilkenny. Bournemouth looking to float the ball into box. Kilkenny looking for the overlap, but not going to take it. It's dropped again here for Dinsmore. Scrimshaw. Zamora. Down the left now. Anthony. Where's he going to put this one in towards Zamora? Zamora turns his man cheekily onto the right. It's dropped for Cope. Couldn't get his shot away. Again, Bournemouth just on the edge of the area, trying to find space to take a shot. Fantastic turn from Zamora. And again, in towards the box, Sholing just clearing the ball away. And Dan Mason will let that one chase, but Bournemouth showing their class now. Yeah,
fantastic play all around the pitch there. One touch, zipping the ball left to right. And then some more, like you say, great bit of trickery. And it just did not set, did it, for Jake Cope, did it? Couldn't get his feet out. And the attack sort of broke down, but Bournemouth really started to seize initiative on this game now. And don't forget, they would like to be the first team that actually could get Sholing's run, because Sholing have been very good in this competition and have not conceded until this day so far.
Well, let's hope that's not the curse of the commentator. It might well be from you. Scrimshaw. Here's Zamora again. He's going to turn. He gets his way in towards the box, skips the challenge. Zamora, he's trying to open up on his right foot, blocked eventually by Alex Sawyer. Still alive for Bournemouth, back in towards the box again. That one will go over to the right-hand side towards Kilkenny. Plays that one back again to his teammate. Here's Cope, looking to try and get the ball in towards the box. Again, no pressure for them to play the ball over on the right-hand side in the final third. It's come all the way back now to Dinsmore. Still in the attacking half. Finally goes over the halfway line back into Sholing's attacking half as Rossi plays this one forward again. There's Anthony, Zamora. Zamora again making the run through. Sholing doing a lot of heavy defending at the moment, looking to break on the counter. Hall has made his way over towards the left-hand side now, running from the right, slips over and wins a free kick for Sholing. Time to calm down a little bit for the men in red and white.
Just a little breather in play. What I'm noticing is, though, there's a great partnership between Zamora and Anthony, the number 3 and the number 10 for Bournemouth. Just watching them, he likes to drift inside in the middle, and then that allows the Zamora to get on the overlap as well, and vice versa, really. But them two seem to be really striking a very good partnership with Bournemouth. That's one to watch for Sholing.
Well, Sholing now with a bit of possession themselves. Cuthbertson again pointing that he might have to go back, loses possession. Anthony, here's Cope. Anthony again on the left-hand side. Cope, Cuthbertson tries to put the challenge in and doesn't win the ball, just hips the foot of Cope. Bournemouth are going to carry on very quickly. Doesn't look as if there was much in that challenge, but free kick all the same. Dinsmore now on the right-hand side, back to Anthony, looking to flick the ball in towards the box, and that one's been played through towards Kilkenny, who's made his way over to the left-hand side now. Bournemouth doing very well to swap on the edge of the area, back out again. And that one will be played in again towards Kilkenny on the turn. Looking to get a low left-footed cross in towards the box, and there is Owen Royal to block that one away. Bournemouth will keep it in instead of letting it go for a throw. Anthony now looking to turn. He can't. Back to Dinsmore. Bournemouth with a lot of possession and a lot of pressure. Zamora playing the ball over towards the right-hand side now with Nippard. Bournemouth, again, just looking to find that perfect ball in towards the box, but they're happy to play it across the end of the area. And a shot from Jake Cope, safe into the hands of Gosney again. 2 shots now for Bournemouth, both into the hands of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, they are starting to pick the passes now. They introduced a very one-touch, quick passing, and then Jake Cope got into a great area and just couldn't get the shot either way of Ryan Gosney, but they are starting to dominate proceedings here at the Universal Stadium.
And that one would not be kept in over on the left-hand side by Jake Hall, unfortunately. Sholing conceding the throw, and Bournemouth just losing out possession at the back. And a little knock from Marvin McLean, nothing given by the referee. Over towards the left-hand side, up towards the corner flag now. And Sholing have won a corner. Great pressure there over on the left-hand side. And Bournemouth, as much as they've got attacking prowess, they looked a little bit shaky there, Luke.
Yeah, they did. I think Marvin McLean did very well there to win a corner like that. But these are the chances where Sholing need to capitalise. They haven't had a lot of possession as such. So set pieces are very, very important for Sholing. They have to have a good delivery here. And let's see what can happen from this set piece.
Oh, Sholing's an analyst. Is that the word?
Analysis.
Yeah. Yeah, I can have that. I can have that. Yeah, he's got his iPad out filming the corner as that's one low and driven in. Couldn't get any height on that one. Come back out towards McLean, clipped in, deflected over a Bournemouth head. It'll be turned away by Wart. Flags up for offside. The referee hasn't seen it yet. Now he's seen it. And finally, it's been called offside.
Just a slight apology there from the referee because he was a little bit late, but the flag was up a long, long time ago. But again, my point was get the ball in the box. Poor corner. Didn't even evade the first man. And now Bournemouth have the possession again. And they can start from the back, work their way to the front of the pitch.
Working from right to left, as we rightly said, as we just over 20 minutes into this game now. Still Sholing 0, AFC Bournemouth 0. Bournemouth have had the better of the chances so far. 2 shots straight into the hands of Ryan Gosney, but Bournemouth again playing it across the back at the moment. Not really much pressure being put on by Sholing as Dan Mason just jogs back along with Lee Wart and Jake Hall, of course. Dan Miller with the header just to clear that one away, and it's dropped in again towards Anthony now running forward. This is where Bournemouth are really dangerous when there's a little bit of a gap in towards the box. And Scrimshaw trying to turn and take a shot on his right. Again, it will be put back out, and that one will roll out to Gosney. I thought that had gone out of play, but no, he's just going to pick that one up and just take his time to settle down again. But that's where Bournemouth are dangerous on the attack.
Yeah, right on the edge of the box, picking them little intricate passes, trying to get through the lines as well. Just broke down a lack of communication there. But some really, really nice play on show from Bournemouth. And they'll be looking to try and get the opening goal in the next 5 or so minutes.
Do you think this is something Dave Diper will have to look at, especially playing a team like this? I'll ask you that question in just a moment, actually, as Sholing just have a throw in the attacking third, but just have a think about that. I think it's something Dave Diper that will be looking for, taking on board what Bournemouth are doing here, of course, adding it into the non-league with Sholing, of course, top of the league. I mean, you know, they don't really need to do much more in the league terms, but just for moving forward as well, watching Bournemouth play, you think Dave is going to look at that and go, actually, that's something we could implement?
Yeah, Yeah, perhaps. I think tonight Sholing's game plan is just to let. I think they're going to let them have possession as soon as they come into the halfway line, make the game compact, make them some more, and try to get on their touches as well. I think the key thing for Sholing is it's just a long ball up to Dan Mason up there. He's got to have the support around him. So when he holds the ball up, he's got the likes of Jake Paul running off him side by side. But I say for that, they're still in their game. They're still in their game. But yeah, seems to be a slight altercation on the pitch between Zamora.
Well, yeah, it was Alex Sawyer and Jordan Zamora that went down. And the referee's given a free kick in Bournemouth's favour. Sholing winning the ball back with Byron Mason, just clearing the ball down the left-hand side. But the referee decided to give it in Bournemouth's favour. I think it was a bit of a 50-50. I don't even think there was a need for a free kick to be blown there. It's a bit of a coming together. Neither of them really got the ball. They both went in for it. Nice challenge, but obviously the referee has given it and play goes on. As Bournemouth now knock the ball upfield. And Sholing have won a throw. Hall looking to take that one quickly. Switched over towards the left-hand side now, Jake Hall, for a little bit. Dave Diper implementing the switch in the midfield, of course. Like to see that. Here comes Anthony in the meantime down the right-hand side, and Kilkenny won't reach that one. Sholing again. You can see the Bournemouth front three just running forward straight away, putting all the pressure on Sholing as the defence look to clear the ball away. Zamora in towards Anthony. I can see what you mean about the partnership there being formed. Here's Cope now, chance to put the ball in towards the box. He's going to try and take on his defender. Back towards Anthony again. Anthony trying to switch it onto his right, back onto his left again. Zamora on the overlap on the left. And Anthony runs this one all the way over towards the right-hand side of the box. It's passed down towards Kilkenny, and that one will go out for a goal kick.
If there's one thing Bournemouth are very good at, is they are very, very good at switching the play from right to left. They always keep the attack alive, and what that does is that draws Sholing across, and that gives them the space on the other side, and they can move it very, very quickly. Took 2 passes to move it from right to left, so Sholing got to be careful on that and keep their shape compact, which they've done so far, and they've actually defended very, very well.
Do you think they should be getting more shots away, Bournemouth? You know, we've seen them now go forward too many times and just lose the possession or just put the ball out of play. I mean, there have been so many chances to put the ball into the box. Is that not the way that they're playing?
Well, I think it makes a big debate, doesn't it, about people's teams of style of playing. If we associate the Bournemouth in the Premier League, and they love to get the ball on the floor, very, very intricate, nice design. And I think that's going to be all the way through the academy. So you can see the likes of Bournemouth getting into great areas, playing that probably, may say, one extra pass. But when the opportunity does arise, like maybe now on the break, they might take their shots, and we got a great chance here.
Well, Cope now just looking to put the ball. He's in the box again. This time he's going to get the low-footed cross in towards the box over the top of everyone. Kilkenny couldn't get there. Great touch from Marv McLean to take it away from Kilkenny. And actually, he's won the ball here for Sholing. Just struggling to find somewhere to play it. Back towards Ryan Gosney. Upfield again towards the halfway line. Bournemouth with the ball back in their possession. And Sholing with a bit of pressure on. Again, have to turn up their game a little bit, Sholing. So Bournemouth are very good under pressure. Dan Mason in towards Hall. Over towards the right-hand side. It's a good ball towards Lee Wart now. Wart takes the challenge down. Referee says no given. I'll tell you what, I don't know what you thought of that, but Zamora, he came away with the ball. And Wart isn't happy at all, but Bournemouth will play on. Anthony now trying to turn, gets his way past Owen Roundel. Sholing now clear it away. Again over towards the right-hand side is Lee Wart. Just having a word with the linesman a moment ago. Back towards Gosney again. And Gosney will take his time and clear this one towards Wart. He's going to win the chest. Got a bit of time to turn. He's going to try and draw the foul if he can, but he'll have to play this one back to his keeper again, or towards it. There's Roundel. Towards Dan Miller. Doesn't look as if Dan Miller wanted it. McLean. Back to Miller again. Sholing now having their time to play it across the back as Gosney picks up the ball. Bit of a bobble across the pitch as well. Cleared away upfield again. Great kick over towards the halfway line. But Bournemouth, lovely little flick there from Cope. Wins the ball. Scrim short. Through towards Cope again now. Bournemouth really need to get the shot away. And again, that's gone through to the hands of Gosney. What did you make of that challenge just a few moments ago, Luke?
Interesting. What is it? It seems to me that Zamora did get the player first, but then obviously got the ball, so I can see where the anger from the Sholing fans is. It's a tough one for the referee to call it. It's 6 and 1.5 a dozen, but it does bring that big debate about, you know, football and challenges and endangering the opponents, if you like. But you know what? I think the referee made the right decisions. I think he saw that. Yeah, and there's a foul. There's a clear one. but not to the liking of the Sholing fans next to me, shall we say? But no, I thought the referee made the great decision.
Well, we all know what fans are like, you know. It's, oh, that's definitely a foul. You know it's not a foul, but you support your team. You know you're going to call for the foul. It's like the players. They probably know it's not a foul, but they call for it anyway and see what the referee thinks. But at the end of the day, Bournemouth have the free kick here, right in front of us. Taken quickly by Zamora. Cope plays this one across the back. And Bournemouth just happy to play a high back line. Dan Mason will chase this one against Bertrand, knocks that one out for a throw. Sholing with a chance to move forward quite quickly. Dan Mason looking to take the throw, but he's going to have to leave it now. Who's he going to let that one drop to? It will be Marv McLean over on the far hand side. In the middle of the two floodlights. He's dropped that one back towards Dan Miller. Again, this one drops for Roundel. And Cuthbertson. Look at the pressure from Bournemouth again, pushing them forward. And that one offside again, called by Alex Sawyer. Just offside.
Well, yeah, but Sholing have got to be careful. If they're going to get the ball up, they've got to watch the line. And Bournemouth defended very well, looked very, very solid. But the game's been gone into a bit of a lull. There's not been any chances really in the last 5 minutes or so. And it's actually been pretty even, so credit to Sholing. They've really got themselves back into the game now. And Bournemouth, you can see the managers trying to instruct them. They can see their game plan is to try and get it on the wings, spread it back, come back into the middle, and then go back out again. So it's an even game so far.
Well, just under half an hour played. It's still Sholing 0, Bournemouth 0. Of course, Bournemouth under 21s playing here at the Universal Stadium tonight. The Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final, a big occasion really, with there's only 2 games away from the final, which will be played at St Mary's Stadium, I assume, again, as it always is. Hopefully, we'll be there covering it regardless of what teams make it. Hopefully, for our sake, it's Sholing. As Bournemouth now play the ball down the right-hand side. But Sholing again coping with the pressure. We saw this when your last time you did a commentary with me, Luke, against Slough Town. That was all the way back in September. That was quite a chilly night as well when we were standing up doing the filming for that one. But we saw Sholing defend very well. It was only in extra time, actually, that they seemed to just drop off and fall apart. And unfortunately, the same happened against Northwich Victoria in the FA Vars, but it didn't help with the fact that Lee Wart got sent off. But then again, Sholing did play a whole half and more without Lee Wart, and not conceding, of course. Bournemouth over towards the right-hand side, and the referee puts his flag up. The linesman has gone out for a throw. I thought he was calling an offside, but no, it has gone out of play, and that will be a throw to Sholing.
Yes, so far so good now for Sholing. I think they were still Bournemouth did have that 10 to 15 minutes spell when they did create a couple of chances. It did look like they were going to score, but now it seems to be Bournemouth got back into their shell, and the game was very, very even. And if Sholing could get it to half-time at 0-0, I'm sure they'd be more than delighted, and it keeps up their good record of not conceding a goal in this competition thus far.
Well, here comes Sholing again. Little flick on towards Jake Hall. Won't quite get there. And again now Bournemouth with a bit of worry at the back. Maybe not. Rossi is clearing that one away. Anthony trying to win the ball off Owen Roundel. Byron Mason will clear that one away. Over towards Genesini. It's back to Genesini now, over on the right-hand side, trying to flick the ball in towards the box, in line with the penalty area again. This one will drop all the way back to Nifford. Again, Bournemouth just being able to play down the right-hand side. They might switch to the left if they need to. Anthony's made his way over to the right-hand side now, wins the ball back, just in the edge of the attacking third. Over towards the far touchline again. Nifford. Loads of space for Tom Dinsmore in the middle of the park. And now it's a chance for Rossi to run his way forward as well. Bournemouth definitely playing a high line, knowing that Sholing are all back. Everyone actually, apart from the Bournemouth goalkeeper, is in Sholing's half at the moment. That's how defensive Sholing are going at the moment. Dan Mason, of course, leading the line just in the centre circle. Rossi plays that ball back to Dinsmore. He's going to look to switch this one over. Drops all the way back for Harvey Bertrand, over towards the right-hand side again. And Sholing just trying to put the pressure on. Jake Hall going in for a sliding challenge, not coming away with the ball. Bournemouth keeping hold of possession again, just passing the ball again across the back, holding possession well, coping well under pressure, of course, Bournemouth. And so they should do as an under-21 side of a Premier League team. It's very encouraging to see these young stars, and perhaps we'll see these in the Premier League very soon. In the meantime, Sholing have won the ball back up towards the halfway line. Alex Sawyer plays that one over towards the left. Dan Miller again towards Marv McLean in his own half still. Sholing trying to run the ball forward, and that one will be knocked out for a throw. Which way is it going to go? It's gone in the favour of Sholing. And again, Sholing just struggling to get their way out of the back, but when they do, they can move forward. And hopefully it'll be a grab-and-go goal. I wonder what Dave Diper would have to say at half-time. We're not quite there yet, but I'm sure it'll be interesting to see what he has to say in the changing room about the defensive performance, which has been good so far. This time it's come over to Cuthbertson, playing a higher line now for Sholing in towards the box. It's a good ball in, and Wart just slips over, and Sholing can't keep it in. That'll go out for a goal kick. Good cross there from Cuthbertson, just couldn't find the head of anyone.
You're right, that's a better cross, but it's maybe a little bit too high. I just couldn't find anyone as well. But, you know, Sholing have defended really well, but their problem will be is that have they actually created a chance in this half? And the answer is they haven't. Will Dennis has not been tested. However, Riley Gosney has been called into action a couple of times as well. So that is the difference. But if this is the game plan that Sholing have done it to a T so far, and obviously they will not want to concede the next 10 minutes.
Well, that remains to be seen, of course, but Sholing hopefully looking to get a shot on target before the end of the first half. It will be a difficult game for them. They've won a throw on this near side towards us on the right-hand side. Lee Wart now bringing the ball in towards the middle. Is he going to open up a shot on his left? No, he's going to play that over towards Marv McLean. Sensible decision over towards the left-hand side. Well, Marv McLean still going on the edge of the area, whips the ball in towards the box. It's a better ball again, but no one there really to pick up the end of it. And that will go out for a throw to Sholing actually on this near side. Took a touch off the Bournemouth man last. And Sholing looking to take this quickly, whether they will or not. And they won't, they're going to take their time now. So we launched in towards the box, over on this right-hand side. And Mason tries to get onto the end of it. Again, it drops out for Marv McLean. Tries to head this one away. Cuthbertson, a lot of pressure being put on now by Bournemouth again, as the ball's lofted forward towards the path of Owen Royal. And that one will go out for a Bournemouth throw.
I was just saying, it's a pretty interesting thing I saw there. Bournemouth had everyone back for that throw, so maybe something they've learnt on the training ground, or just everyone back. Some Scrimshaw up front was actually in his own half, so Bournemouth had no outlet. And then that's another thing actually you tend to see now in the Premier League. You seem to say all your strikers, you seem to say all the players back when they've got a set piece and throw in, and when you win the ball, there's nothing here. But Sholing have picked the ball up in a good position, Matt.
They are. They've just won the ball back again. Obviously, Bournemouth are still a young side here, the under-21s, but they've been putting a lot of the Premier League pressure on, as we've been speaking about, and that's a very good term to use at the moment. But Cuthbertson picking the ball up on this right-hand side, getting the ball through the legs of Cope, and just losing out possession, and Cope will pick this one back up again. What I was going to say was that Bournemouth still do struggle every now and again at the back, and we've seen it, but when they come forward, and I'll touch upon the point that you made earlier, because I actually got something to argue with as Bournemouth pick up the ball, but when you say they're all back, what it means is they can all pass across the back, working their way forward. They don't have to play the long ball up to the striker who's waiting on the halfway line. Everyone's back in their own half, so they can just pass it out, as they have been doing all game, and then see where that goes. And obviously, as we've seen with Zamora and Anthony as well down the left and the right hand side now, that's the way that they seem to be playing, and it's going well so far. They just need to get a few more shots away, Bournemouth, and they could be 1-0 up.
Yes, you're all right, to be fair. I will disagree, though. I always think you should have your strikers, at least two people up front. I can never understand the rule myself. Well, it's not the rule, but the way teams have everyone back. And we've seen it now. Sholing has a free kick and just inside the Bournemouth half, and everyone is back behind the ball.
Well, Cuthbertson was waiting on the edge of the area. That one's lofted forward over the bar and out for a goal kick. It was a good free kick from McLean to be played forward. That one not troubling Will Dennis in goal. What did you say? It was the striker within you, Luke?
It was the striker with me, for the people listening. I did fancy myself as a bit of a striker one day, but them days are well and truly gone now. I just tell the strikers what to do, because obviously I know so much that I decided to tell Lacazette and Aubameyang everything they know on Sundays and Saturdays.
And
Just at Villa, don't you?
And that's why we chose journalism, mate. That's exactly why. Here comes Zamora again down the left-hand side, showing his pace in towards the box. That one will drop towards Scrimswell. Back towards Zamora again. Can he keep the ball in play? He can do, across the face of goal. And Anthony gets the ball into the back of the net. Bournemouth take a 1-0 lead just before half-time. And you can see that one coming. A fantastic run down the left from Zamora. Almost knocked in by Scrimshaw, but back in again from Zamora. Kept the ball in play on the near side. And Jaden Anthony puts Bournemouth 1-0 up.
We did say them two had a very good partnership early on, and they proved the difference here. Again, it's a loose ball from Sholing. They'll be very disappointed, but Zamora, again, great burst of pace down the line. And he goes in a wicked cross, and he gets the return, puts in another great cross. And there was Anthony to turn it in at the back stick to make it Sholing 0, AFC Bournemouth 1. And Sholing will be devastated that they couldn't last just until half time. On 35 minutes, it's the opening goal And Sholing have conceded their first goal in the competition. What they don't want to do now is concede a second, because then it's a mountain to climb for the second half.
Well, fingers crossed for the men in red and white who just line up on the halfway line again. 35 minutes played. Jaden Anthony putting AFC Bournemouth under-21s into the lead here at the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final. Has to be said, you could see that goal coming at some point, but Sholing doing very well defensively and now find themselves needing to get a goal to put themselves back on level terms. Very much a Michael Owen quote. Down at the right-hand side comes Sholing straight away from kick-off. Cuthbertson asking for the ball back, but has to be careful. That one comes off Anthony last. And back out for a throw towards Sholing. Anthony just kicking the ball away. I don't know why footballers tend to do that. I mean, Bournemouth are 1-0 up. Anthony's just kicking the ball out, stopping Sholing from moving forward. I can see, obviously you can see why. They just want to get themselves defensively sound and ready to go, but there's no need for that on a football field at any level. That's my personal opinion anyways. Byron Mason knocks that one down. And again, here is Byron Mason over towards the left-hand side. McLean, Sholing putting the front foot on now. Obviously realising they're 1-0 down. Looking to get themselves straight back into the game. McLean in towards the box, and that one will bounce. In fact, it's gone out for a corner. Little knock on Will Dennis there, but Sholing have got themselves that corner. Surely this one's got to go into the box from Sawyer this time.
Yes, it has to beat the first man. I think Will Dennis just misjudged the flight of the ball on that one, and he claimed it was a foul, but if keepers get too much protection, he wasn't going to get anything out of that. And you're right, it has to beat the first man. And Sholing, if they can get an equaliser, this will be a terrific response.
The option for Owen Royal on the short, not taken and almost flicked in. Cuthbertson was waiting for it. Lee Wart surrounding Will Dennis in the goal.
Here's my point. That's my perfect point, right? Everyone's back. Will Dennis gets the ball out. He's looking for the outlet. And he has to wait for everyone to regroup. And then Bournemouth and Sholing can get back into possession. And the attack is sort of fluffy. That's my disagreement with you, Matt Ponter, for this evening. Whoever wants to agree with me on that, just tweet us on Twitter. I think Matt might win, but that's my opinion.
Well, I think this might prove it now. Bournemouth bringing the ball over towards the right-hand side, playing the ball across the play. Okay, they might have lost the possession here with Jake Hall winning the ball back. Now bring the ball up towards the halfway line, over towards the centre spot. Trying to find Lee Warts, but couldn't. And here comes Zamora again. Look at that pace down the middle of the park. Just couldn't beat his man, and Zamora still going here, trying to put the pressure on, getting his way past Owen Royal, all the way back, chasing towards Ryan Gosney. What a fantastic run, and he looks as if he's got the energy to carry on doing that all night as Anthony plays the ball over towards the halfway line. And Cope asking for the ball, screaming for the ball, picks up the ball now on his left-hand side. He's going to look to play this one back to Rossi. Rossi will pick up the ball just up towards the halfway line, and again, here's Anthony. Shouts for Jaden. And that one will drop up towards Kilkenny, trying to turn his man. McLean plays that one back towards Gosney. A low clearance again over towards Dan Mason, beaten by Harvey Bertrand. McLean now just looking to find the pass. He might have to go back to his goalkeeper again. A lot of pressure being put on by Nippard, and Bournemouth have been good at doing that, putting the pressure on when Sholing win the ball. They don't seem to want it. It's always that shout. He don't want it. He don't want it. And it seems that way at the moment, but this one now finds its way to TJ Cuthbertson down the right-hand side, trying to keep the ball in play. Being chased back by Zamora. Again, Cuthbertson trying to put the ball in towards the box, blocked off Rossi and out for a corner to Sholing. Great run from Cuthbertson and great work from Dan Mason to keep that ball alive as well.
Yeah, he did very well in midfield there. Great slide tackle, just beat Zamora to the ball. But great build-up from Sholing. He got the ball on the floor, played a nice couple of passes in midfield and actually stretched Bournemouth for probably the first time this half. And I think they've got a corner. They've got a corner in a good position. Again, another chance to make a great response.
A little bit of a cammy moment there from you, Luke. Couldn't see, no. Well, the corner has been floated in. It's a better corner this time, and it's been knocked in at the far post. And there is the equaliser for Sholing. Just trying to work out who tapped that one in. Is it Dan Mason? Is it the man? He's on 52 goals if it is for the season. Sholing, what a fantastic corner. We were saying the delivery needed to be better. There you go. Does that satisfy you, Luke Henry?
Ah, it satisfies me, and it satisfies the crowd around us. A few cheers because Sholing's equalised, and they've had to be fair to it. They've had a great response since going 1-0 down. They haven't put their heads down. They've actually carried on going. They've actually improved, and a couple of great chances from corners, and they've taken that one. Although Will Dennis is absolutely fuming. He's absolutely fuming with the referee because he feels he's impeded. It's hard to see from here, but I don't think there's too much in it. But he feels like he could get anywhere near the ball. And it was a great hook on volley from Dan Mason from close range and back on level terms.
Well, there we go, approaching half-time. Sholing getting the equaliser. Sholing 1, AFC Bournemouth under-21s 1 in the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final. Just when you thought Bournemouth were on the attack again with Zamora, it was a great run down the right-hand side from TJ Cuthbertson to win that corner. Great ball in from Sawyer in towards the box. And there was Dan Mason. So as we approach half-time, of course, as I said, it's 1-1. We'll be taking a break at half-time, of course, but do stay tuned because we will be back with full commentary of the second half. So we'll turn our microphones off, but we'll keep the link live just so you can go and have a cuppa if you're at home. Go and make yourself a brew, put the kettle on, maybe pop yourself a slice of toast in, grab a couple of biscuits, and that is number 4 that's gone out of the ground as Ryan Gosney clears that one over the stand that we are sitting in. But yeah, go and grab yourself a cup of tea at half-time, a biscuit. If you're here at the ground listening, then of course you can go and get it's got a bit of tea. Go and grab a coffee. Go and grab a burger from the stand. Rich tea, do you reckon? Not a custard cream, Luke. Well, we've got a few more moments until the half-time whistle goes, and here comes Zamora again. Bournemouth on the front foot, looking to restore their lead before half-time. Can they do it? We'll find out now. Nippard, and over towards the right-hand side. And again, Bournemouth just keeping the ball in their possession. Back to Tom Dinsmore again, working hard at the central defensive role. And Zamora just losing out possession there, and that will be launched forward. And I think, well, I'm not really sure what was going on. I think Royal thought the keeper was off his line. It was well wide and out for a goal kick.
I think he should just say he went for a challenge and got the ball, because if that's gone nowhere near the goal. We don't even know what happened there, do we? To be honest.
It'll be interesting to see what went through his mind to make that decision. But here come Bournemouth again down the right-hand side. It's a lovely ball towards Genesini. Where's the cross going to come into? Jake Hall's back defending. Here's Kilkenny now, turning onto his left, gets the shot away. That will be dragged wide and out for a goal kick. But what a ball down the right-hand side. That's where Bournemouth are dangerous again.
Absolutely great pass. A nice drilled 30-yard pass. He found the feet again, as he did very well. Bournemouth, I've noticed, they like to do the third-man run. They like to come in and there's a play in the midfield. They go back out to the wing. A nice little third-man run that you sometimes see in football as well. A lot. So it's, something like they've worked on the training ground. But a drag shot from Kilkenny that wasn't troubling Ryan Gosling as we peter out to the final moments of this first half.
Who's Peter? I say that all the time when someone says that to me. My nan used to say it a lot. It's going to peter out. I said, who's Peter? Well, we never know. No one knows who Peter is. Either way, the ball launched in towards the box. Zamora gets the head away. Still alive with Sawyer in towards the final few moments of the first half, of course. Cuthbertson brings the ball up towards the halfway line. Plays that one back towards McLean over on the left. On the halfway line. Bang on now. And this one's going to go all the way back towards Dan Miller. Again, the pressure now being put on by Bournemouth as the ball drops towards the back. They're looking to put the pressure on, and for that long clearance away, Cuthbertson back towards Gosney. Right boot cleared away again. And that's where Bournemouth put the pressure on and forced Sholing to do that long ball. This time it's worked out. Jake Hall over on the left-hand side. Has he kept the ball in just about, but hasn't won it. As this one will drop towards Kilkenny now over on the right-hand side. And Byron Mason putting the challenge in, knocking that one out for a throw right on the halfway line. The Brooklyn Genesini throw that one back into play. Again, Alex Sawyer trying to win that one back. Here's Tom Dinsmore now on towards the halfway line, just passing the centre spot. Got Zamora over on the left-hand side if he needs, but he's gone straight through to Anthony, up towards another man in blue. Bournemouth again picking up the ball on the right-hand side. This time Jake Hall keeping the ball in play. Shouts at the referee. It's gone for a throw-in, but it looks as though there should have been a foul there. I think Dave Diper, Anthony, tripping over himself there. A great run down the right-hand side. 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. That's 2 minutes. The old Speedway quote, if you ever used to watch your Speedway. You have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes for the riders to come onto the circuit. Of course, we've got Poole Pirates down on the south coast and the Isle of Wight Speedway team, which we might have to go over to just before the close of our season here. Yeah, close of the football season, but the close of our second year at Solent. Even throughout the summer, hopefully we'll stay down on the south coast and get a few trips into the Isle of Wight. I do love it over there, especially at Ryde and Newport Isle of Wight. Have you never been? Well, I'll have to take you, Luke. Never been. Over on the left-hand side anyway, Sholing trying to put some pressure on. Bournemouth just picking the ball across the back. Everyone in blue in the defensive half. Only now do two players go forward in Anthony and Scrimshaw. up towards Scrimshaw. Shouts for offside. Not going to be needed anyway, as McLean will pick up the ball on the left-hand side. Going to have to try and pass this one back, but manages to turn his man in Gavin Kilkenny. He slips over, and Marv McLean now taking the ball over towards the halfway line. And that one's run straight through to Will Dennis. What a turn that was. And a few cheers from the home fans as well as we close in towards half-time. Bournemouth, though, still on the attack, trying to take a lead into the break. Now it's Anthony going to play that bomb ball. Short back to Cope. Almost drops for Scrimshaw. Cleared away again. Just needed that little bit of extra weight on that pass, and it might have found its way through to Scrimshaw, or Cope could have got a better shot away. Cope over towards the right-hand side again, crossed in towards the box. That one's high. That one's going to go over towards Zamora, but it's Hall that gets the head away first, and I can take a breath and hand over to you again.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Oh, just as I referee blows his whistle, it's half time. It's 1-1 here. And I've got to say that I've been watching Bournemouth, and as I say, the two players that stand out for me have to be the left back. It's got to be Jordan Zamora and also Jaden Anthony. Them two are really, really looking dangerous. I think Anthony in that number 10 role, he's causing all sorts of problems. He's dropping deep, he's speeding far. He scored the goal, but Zamora's pace, his power, his strength, and his defensive work has been a joy to watch this first half. And Bournemouth have got really couple of great starters in their team. So they're shining. Credit to them, they've defended very, very well and got their goal at the right time. And they'll feel like their performance deserves going out at 1-1. And this is all to play for in the second half, mate. It really is.
Well, here at the Universal Stadium, it is half-time. Sholing 1, Bournemouth under-21s 1. We'll be back very shortly for the second half. Well, teams are back on the field of play. Welcome back, of course. It's the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final. Half-time, Sholing 1, Bournemouth 1. The first goal coming on 35 minutes. Jaden Anthony putting the ball into the back of the net for the Cherries. But just before half-time on 42 minutes, corner whipped in from the right-hand side. Dan Mason, a little flick into the back of the net. It was Sholing's proper first chance on target, Luke, it has to be said. But they now kick off the second half with a lot of hope.
Yes, 1-1 at half time. You know, you're coming into the second half. It's all to play for. I think they'll stick to their same game plan. I think they'll let Bournemouth have a little bit more possession. And in about 65, 70 minutes, come into their game. And if it scores are still 1-1, they'll fancy their chances. We've made a great start here.
They have made a great start here, and the ball just fizzed across from the right-hand side. Sholing wearing red and white stripes with black shorts and black socks. Bournemouth in, as we described earlier, the blue-teal yeah, we'll call it a bluey-teal colour. It's very nice indeed, shooting from left to right with their navy blue shorts and the same socks. Turquoise blue, I think we'll settle for. There's Genesee. Over on this right-hand side, Bournemouth just looking to attack early on. That'll be dropped back to Nippard. And this time, Dan Mason will try and win this ball back. And that'll go out for a throw-in to Sholing on this near side. Sholing, of course, they've only lost 3 games this season. All 3 of them been cup games.
Yeah, they have. I was just going to say something, man. I don't know if this could be completely stupid, but I've looked at Sholing. I've looked at a couple of the Sholing players, and they've got the thermals on, and rightly so, because it's absolutely freezing. But I just wonder if there's a rule from the Bournemouth coaches that they're not allowed to wear, because it's very rare you see a whole team they've got no thermals on. I think it's really bizarre, especially in these freezing conditions. I just don't know what you think about that. I don't know if that's the weirdest observatory you've ever seen on a COMMS, but it's very, very weird, that. Very weird.
Well, you're the first person that ever actually pointed that out to me. That the fact I just usually look at the players and try and describe what's going on, but that's a very, very interesting thing. Maybe they don't do thermals in the colour of Bournemouth's shirt, the marini blue turquoise colour. Do you think it's because of that, maybe? A coaching ban. Well, there you go. You heard it first, Luke Henry. I think it's a coaching ban. In fact, we'll probably do some research into that at some point. But no, it seems as though they're all okay. But I suppose they're running around, so they're going to be a bit warmer than us, sitting down in the commentary box. And Sholing have a throw-in on the far side, over on the right-hand side. This one's going to be launched in towards the box. Dan Miller trying to get his head onto it, does get the flick header. It's headed away by Luke Nippard, back in again by Lee Wart, and that one's going to be almost stabbed home by Dan Mason. Almost by Dan Mason, just on the goal line. Will Dennis just about picking up the ball, but here come Bournemouth now, straight on the attack down the right-hand side. Almost zips in towards the box from Anthony, still alive, and I'll get your thoughts on that chance in just a moment, Luke. In fact, I'll go to you now quickly.
Oh, that's a big chance, isn't it, from Dan Mason? I don't think he did everything he could. He slipped it. He nearly got the right way, beat Will Dennis, but the ball just stuck it in the turf. It didn't get out, but Sholing have had a very, very bright start to the second half. They'll be delighted with their start so far.
So they should be. Luke Nippard now in towards the middle of the park. Tom Dinsmore. And that one's over towards Rossi. Again, played down the left-hand side channel. So when he whipped in towards the box again, and now Sholing will clear that one away up towards the middle of their own defensive half. Dan Mason dropping all the way back to try and win that ball back. Loses out possession towards Kilkenny. That one will drop back again towards Genesee. Dan Mason now down just on the floor. It looks as if he took a knock, but it should be okay as he gets back up. Just looking at his right foot, I think. Got a bit of a drop onto it. Over on the left-hand side, Bournemouth again just keeping hold of possession, with Tom Dinsmore playing that one across. And Bournemouth looking for that killer ball upfield. Here's Kilkenny again. Kilkenny just getting onto the edge of the area. As Luke rightly said, Dan Mason still struggling. Kilkenny trying to open up a shot onto his left, maybe, can he? And Scrimshaw picking up the ball on the edge. Here's Anthony again, goal scorer, of course, in the first half for Bournemouth under-21s. Back again. Here's Scrimshaw. Back to Anthony again, trying to turn his man, and that one finds Hull, and he'll let one roll out, will he? No, he's going to clear that one away. Headed down. And Bournemouth again with possession on the right-hand side. Anthony and Kilkenny linking up, almost through to Scrimshaw, almost drops through all the way to Cope. And Sholing now can get this one away down at the right-hand side. Lee Wart just making the run. Dan Mason looks as if he is struggling still on his boot, and it looks as if, I think that might be Brad Targett looking to make his way onto the field of play. If anyone, it should be Brad Targett, of course, the third leading goal scorer in the team. Dan Mason on 52, Lee Wart on 39, Brad Targett on 14 at the moment. This time it's Giannissini down the right-hand side again, and Sholing just about managing to clear this one away, keeping it in play all the way up towards the left-hand side. I think Dan Mason would love the ball to be kicked out of play, it seems. He's very much hobbling, not really able to keep up with play as this one comes over towards Harvey Bertrand. Almost knocked out of play again, but very closely to the touchline here. Byron Mason, of course Dan's brother, clears that one down towards the right-hand side. Bournemouth will pick this one up again, straight down the middle. Over towards the left-hand side now with Jake Cope. Back again towards Zamora, who's over on the left-hand side for us now. Away from us, so we won't be able to see him zoom past us in front of us. This one switched all the way over to the right-hand side now. Here's Giannissini with the overlap of Nippard if he needed him, in towards the box, and that will be cleared away again by Sholing. And that one should roll out for a throw-in. And Sholing not making the substitution yet. Dan Mason's still walking around, but he definitely looks as if he is hurt. Whether he can walk this one off in the next couple of minutes remains to be seen. Dave Diper looks as if he wants to keep his man on. Here's Scrimshaw now on the edge of the area, up towards the corner flag on the left-hand side. Linesman kept his flag down. It was a good run. Has to bring this one back, and Cope just about winning the ball on the overlap. But towards the halfway line again as Bournemouth play the ball across the back. Every man in the attacking half now, apart from the Bournemouth goalkeeper. Very interesting to see after our first half discussion about everyone being back. This time everyone's back for Sholing, and this one Zamora again in towards the box. Zooms his way through. And the linesman puts his flag up. And it looks as if it might have been called offside, but it's gone out anyway. And Gosney will have time to clear this one away.
I think the concern for Sholing is to see what's happening with Dan Mason. He's not, ever since that little collision he's had with Kilkenny, he's not actually moving very, very well. He's still hobbling gingerly. I think Brad Targett is on the bench, like you said, but he's sat down, and I wonder if they're going to try and give him another 5 minutes to try and run it off, but so far so good. It's not looking good for Dan Mason.
Well, he just went over to the bench, and it looked as if they were trying to call him. He said he wanted to stay on by the looks of it. He gave the thumbs up over towards the bench. So we'll see what happens as Gosney clears the ball away down the right-hand side. Flicked on again. And Wart will launch this one forward towards Dan Mason. Jake Hall over on the left-hand side. Cuthberts are now picking up the ball, looking for somewhere to play through. Dan Mason trying to run on the overlap. This one's gone down towards Wart. Almost a first-time cross in towards the box. It's come off Zeno Rossi last, and Sholing have a corner over on the far side. Can they repeat what they did at the end of the first half, Luke?
There's no reason why they can't. Dan Mason is still on the pitch. Obviously scored from the last set piece in the first half. It's quite interesting to see Bradley Targett has put his jumper back on and he's sat down, so it seems to be Dan Mason's going to run this off. But again, another fantastic opportunity, showing this time to regain and take the lead.
Corner whipped in towards the box from the far side, and it was Owen Royal that put the... It wasn't. Trying to see who was putting the ball in towards the box. And this one's going to come straight back to Sholing. And it's a long shot taken. Drops back for Roundel over towards the far side. Cuthbertson couldn't get there. It's Jake Hall that took the corner. Apologies. So that one's gone straight out for Bournemouth throw on the far side. They can relax again and play the ball across the back. This one, it's a low-driven ball forward up towards Scrimshaw. Couldn't quite find him. Byron Mason now picks up the ball on the halfway line. In fact, right around the centre spot. And now down the right-hand side, Sholing trying to play. Zamora almost winning the ball, and he has done. Turns Lee Wart, and Lee Wart just trying to put the challenge in. Won't get there. Shouts for a handball. Referee gives a free kick to Bournemouth.
Yes, good play again from Zamora. He's very, very quick. He's a great turn. He got, just got handball there, and Portsmouth, Bournemouth, sorry, can have possession of the ball. And he said Portsmouth, I don't know why I said that. But Bournemouth can have possession of the ball. But I haven't really said it a lot. So far, Bournemouth in the second half, they've come out, they've been quite slow, quite lacklustre, and actually had a Spurs possession thus far. It's been actually a very good start from Sholing, and they're pressuring them again. They've done very well.
Well, Marv McLean coming over from his right back position in towards the middle of the park. Unfortunately, couldn't find Lee Wart, and Zamora will throw this one in quickly. Bournemouth very quick to get the ball back in possession and back in play, of course. And this one now, zipped across towards Nippard. In towards the middle again. Now Bournemouth looking to get forward. Cope over towards Anthony. Anthony plays the ball back. Here's Zamora now. Looking to get past his man. And Bournemouth will just hold play on the edge of the area, around about 30 yards out. In towards the box again, over on the left-hand side. And cleared away, it looks as if for another Bournemouth throw. To be taken quickly by captain Gavin Kilkenny, and it has been. Towards Rossi. Flick forward again, and Bournemouth losing out possession of the ball. Bournemouth picking up possession again though. This time they're going to play it down the right-hand side. A good run from Genesini if they can find him, but it looks as if Sholing have intercepted that one. Here comes Hall now making the run down the left, showing his pace, showing his strength to hold off a couple of defenders, but just about losing the ball. Will he win the ball back again? Hall going in for the challenge. Referee saying play on, got the ball. Dan Mason. Also up there, still limping Dan Mason.
Say he's still limping. I wasn't sure if the referee made the good decision. I thought it should have been a foul to Bournemouth. It's just as well. That nothing came of that chance. Yeah, Dan Mason is still. He's just trying to run it off now, but he still doesn't look the same way it is. It's actually what I've noticed is that Bournemouth have played a similar way to Sholing did in the first half. It's Scrimshaw has now been up front and he's sort of been a bit isolated on his own, and that through ball's coming in. And he just needs the help of Anthony, who's dropped quite deep at the start of the second half, to get the ball and help him as well. So Anthony and Cope really need to help and get a service to Scrimshaw time. But it's been an interesting start to the second half.
Well, just over 10 minutes in, it's still Sholing 1, Bournemouth under-21s 1. A corner to Bournemouth on our near side. Kilkenny, the captain, to play this one in. He's played it short back towards Dinsmore, towards the edge of the area. Dinsmore on the overlap is Kilkenny, in fact, in towards the box again. Sholing with a lot of pressure on, stopping the ball from getting in towards the final 6-yard area. Kilkenny now going from the right over towards the left, back towards Anthony. Kilkenny still twisting and turning over on the left-hand side, and this one will come back to Zamora. Zamora now in control of the ball over towards Anthony on that left-hand side. Those two definitely working up that partnership again. Back to Anthony again now on towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Challenges going in. Two Sholing players trying to clear it away. Byron Mason now coming away with the ball. That one will be cleared again towards Lee Wart, being told to hold it up towards the halfway line. Doing very well. Now Lee Wart's turned his man, and now he's away down the right-hand side, but he's got no one in support to pass to. And that one will be knocked out for a throw. Very well done from Lee Wart over on the far side, winning that throw. And now he's just going to slow down play a little bit. Bournemouth getting their men back in numbers. 7 men behind the ball at the moment, but that one will go out for a throw. And Sholing just looking to take this one. Getting their men forward, but you can still see Marv McLean, Dan Miller and Owen Roundel just on the halfway line. They're not taking any chances, Sholing, of course. Enough men forward, and that will be launched in towards the head of Byron Mason. Won't get onto the end of it, and Bournemouth will clear this one away again if they can, and they've won themselves a free kick.
Yes, I've just got to go back to the previous chance for Bournemouth, and a great skill again, wasn't it, from Jane Anthony. Great job of the shoulder. Get 1-2 again with him and Zanora. Again, it's just been an absolute great partnership all evening long. He pulled it back, but there was no one in the penalty box to turn it in for Bournemouth. But Bournemouth coming into it a little bit more now. They're finding the spaces. Sholing now still holding them and doing very well. But here come Bournemouth again on the attack.
Again, Bournemouth trying to play the ball down the left-hand side.
I believe we've just had the curse off the commentator tonight there, Matt.
It always seems to happen whenever we do one, and I think it's an ongoing cliche, isn't it, the curse of the commentator, but it seems to be a thing. Ryan Gosney picks up the ball. Just to let you know, Harvey Bertrand is the brother of Ryan Bertrand, so we've been informed by the Bournemouth media. So we were right at the start of the game, but now it's been confirmed, we can say, in the eyes of a future star. In fact, a lot of these Bournemouth players look as if they could make the first team right now, to me. There's been a few standout players. Well, I don't know about you, Luke, but something to see. West Brom, of course. Just having a look at some of the interesting news. Luke, just tell us a bit more.
Yeah, well, obviously, I don't know if people are aware, but they're quite shocking and quite controversial sacking of Darren Moore in the Championship as West Brom manager, who are currently 4th in the playoffs. And I think it was 4 wins from the previous 12 was deemed not good enough for for West Brom, and they've sacked him, but they're in talks with ex-Fulham manager Slavko Jokanovic. So it'll be interesting to see with that one. They've had initial discussions this afternoon, and it'll be interesting to see where they can land him. I can't think of anyone else who would want it. It hasn't said anything else, but all it says is that he's travelled for Ghana for talks, and they've understood to approach David Wagner, although apparently he is not keen on the job. So very, very interesting. But it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous to sack him. So yeah, Jokanovic to West Brom perhaps.
Well, that's an interesting signing. You wouldn't hear that usually. I'm still shocked, like you said, about Darren Moore. Fantastic coach, fantastic manager, it seemed, in the Championship. But after two losses on the bounce, is it? Or the draw against Ipswich did it. But, I mean, you should be winning a game against Ipswich, bottom of the league. But Darren Moore, he's left West Brom in the playoffs. Is it another case of... what team did it happen to the other year? In fact, we'll go back to that in just a moment, because Luke Nipper now on the edge of the area. Again, Bournemouth now playing the ball forward. Here's Kilkenny on the right-hand side, gets the cross in towards the box. That one will go out for a goal kick. I'm trying to think of someone else in the Championship. Was it... Who left Blues in the playoffs and then Zola came in?
Gary Rowett.
It was Rowett, wasn't it? It was Gary Rowett. Yeah, Birmingham City, high-flying, Gary Rowett, staking them up. Left. Zola came in, did a wonderful job, Gianfranco Zola. And then Harry Redknapp, 3 games, lost to Villa, and then managed to somehow keep Birmingham City up. And look at Blues now. Just a few points off the playoffs, of course, losing 1-0 to Aston Villa. Jack Grealish getting the only goal of that game. But Birmingham City definitely fighting for playoffs, along with their Midlands rivals. I think it's fantastic to see. I'd love to see West Brom, Villa, Blues, and of course we've got Wolves in the Premier League. I'd love to see them back up again like it was in the 2010-2011 season. Anyway.
Do you want to remind everyone listening just what team you support again?
It's a team in claret and blue. I'll leave it at that. Playing Birmingham, it's Aston Villa, of course. But we're not on about them too much tonight. Just thought I'd get that out there with the results from yesterday. West Ham, no, Scunthorpe United, mate. Always Scunthorpe. Here come Bournemouth again. It's Sholing 1, Bournemouth 1 as we enter the final half an hour of the game or so. Bournemouth picking the ball up over on the left-hand side now. Of course, under-21s playing Sholing in the quarterfinal of the Hampshire Senior Cup tonight. Again, Byron Mason winning that ball back, and now Sholing just trying to keep hold of the ball, but this time it's dropped towards Kilkenny, over towards the left-hand side, and it's a shot whipped in. That one will go wide for a goal kick, and Ryan Gosney will watch that one fly wide.
Yeah, I think I've just noticed a change in the Bournemouth front three. I think it's a 4-3-3, and I think they've just moved Jake Screwshot out to the left-hand side, and it's allowed Jalen Anthony to become the centre forward. So a little bit of a change there, but he's just cut the ball in, a little dig ball over the top there, but he couldn't really get the bend round. It did beat Ryan Gosney, but so a change in not a change in formation, but a change in personnel, if you like. So Jalen Anthony, I think he's leading the line, with Screwshot probably up on the left and Jake Cope on the right, but Bournemouth starting to get into it now again a bit, but still they have not reached the same intensity as they did in the first half. So credit to Sholing have really nullified their attack. But Dan Mason, I'm keeping my eye on him. Dan Mason is still hobbling. He's still hobbling. So keep an eye on him as well.
Well, for those of you just tuning in, that was the voice of Luke Henry, my co-commentator here today. I'm Matt Ponter, of course. We're covering Sholing against Bournemouth. It's currently 1-1 in the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final. When I say Bournemouth, it is the Bournemouth that we all know, not the other Bournemouth that do play in the Wessex League. Bournemouth under-21s, in fact. A very good show. Luke Henry, of course, the anchor, it has to be said, of the Saturday Sports Show on Radio Sonar, Solent University's student radio station. But we're here tonight watching this game, doing a live stream on YouTube. Usually we'd be doing a live com on the show, but the Monday night debate takes over. That ball's in towards the box. Great free kick from Alex Sawyer on towards the head of Dan Mason again, and saved by Will Dennis. Bournemouth now looking to break down the left-hand side and clear this one away. It's dropped back to Zamora, who will bring this ball up towards the halfway line. Over the halfway line he goes, back towards Zamora again, just slipping over, and Sholing can clear that one away, almost out of the ground for the 5th ball lost of the game.
Glad you'll keep it up, I must say. I forgot, it's ball number 4 so far. We nearly had Bill for number 5, but that stayed in the ground.
I realise you're not quite Matt Ogley, who usually does the co-commentary with me while Luke is in the studio, making sure everything runs smoothly on the desk.
Nice to be out for a change, I must say. The only difference is it's a Monday night, not a Saturday afternoon.
And the fact that the studio has a radiator and this stand doesn't. So Just you know, that's the beauty of doing commentaries out and about. You know, you feel the elements a bit more. You're not just stuck behind a desk with your laptop. Nice in the warm, of course. As Gosney clears this one down the right-hand side, up towards the Sholing head, and Alex Sawyer will knock that one forward up towards Byron Mason, who will chase that one, and it will just be picked up by Will Dennis right on the edge of his own area. Bournemouth keeping hold of the ball. And playing this ball down the right-hand side this time. Here's Nippard. Headed on by Anthony again towards Kilkenny. McLean clears that one away up towards the halfway line. It will almost head on by Royal. This time Hall will try and pick up the ball. Nippard just working his way past a couple of players. Genesini. And Sholing will pick up the ball again as Bournemouth lose possession, but there's no through ball there from Lee Wharton. Now, here comes Jordan Zamora in towards the box. Again going wide. Cope passing it out to Anthony. Back to Cope again. This one's come to the edge of the area with Luke Nippard. Back again, and it's played all the way back towards Tom Dinsmore. It seems when Bournemouth get forward, they do have to play it around the edge of the area, and they do want to move it forward. Dinsmore takes the shot. He's blocked away. Sholing will clear that one up towards the halfway line again. Dan Mason now with a bit of a hold, winning a cheap free kick, and Sholing with a bit more defending to do there.
Yeah, that's poor from Rossi, though. He doesn't really give the foul in that situation because it's 2-on-1. What was I just going to say to you? So Sholing dropping a little bit deeper now. Bournemouth starting to not dominate, but they're starting to gain a little bit, get a bit forward in their into the Sholing half. But it's just not the same second half that Bournemouth produced in the first. A couple of misplaced passes. And we are getting to that stage of the game now where both teams are giving it away a bit more, a little bit more. It's end-to-end, if you like.
About 65 minutes played. It's Sholing 1, Bournemouth under-21s 1 here in the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final. Free kick launched forward from Sholing up towards the head of Byron Mason. It's still loose on the edge of the area. No one was there for Sholing to pick up the ball. And Bournemouth will just about clear this one away. Dennis in goal for Bournemouth had no idea where that ball was going to drop. Bournemouth with the throw on this near side. Kilkenny looking to throw that one. No, he won't. He'll drop that one back to Genesini. Bournemouth with a bit of pressure. Dan Mason winning the ball back. Here is Jake Hall now trying to take the ball down the left-hand side. Wins the cheap free kick. And now Kilkenny will just wander over to the referee, have a chat. The referee not having... What do you think he had for dinner then?
I don't know. Something to do with pasta. Nice pre-match meal. That's all he said. The next time you do it, you'll be in the book. All right?
Not enough cheese on it, I think the referee was pointing out there. No, that's where he wants the ball, on the pitch. We can make so many jokes from that, but we're not going to. We're talking about football. We're not talking about pasta, Luke. We're talking about football. I know. No, you said what he's having for food. By the way, Cuthbertson towards the box, and that one's gone straight through to the hands of Will Dennis. A bit too much on there for TJ to handle. Ball straight through, and Bournemouth now clearing the ball again. Like I said, they're just going to look to pass from the back and work their way forward, and now they push up towards the attacking half, as here comes Luke Nippard towards Anthony, who's dropped back a little bit since the first half. Nippard again picking up the ball. Bournemouth definitely running forward with a lot more pride and possession. Anthony looking to take a shot on his left, drops for Cope, back to Anthony again. Running across goal over towards Zamora, over on the left-hand side, showing just about winning the ball back. Zamora trying again, Cuthbertson on the floor, gets back up. Anthony again over on that left-hand side, just playing the ball back again. Cope looking to play the ball back. Sholing putting a lot of pressure on here as Rossi makes his way forward for the first time in a while, venturing into the attacking half. Over towards the left again, and now Sholing have got a bit more defending to do. Anthony again over towards the left, in towards the box from Kilkenny. He couldn't quite get the cross in. Lovely 1-2 play between Anthony and Kilkenny there, but it's gone straight out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Bournemouth still playing that very intricate pass. I was just saying that Scrimshaw had 3 players behind him, but still not afraid to go the last 1-2 on the edge of the box. That's the Bournemouth we saw in the first half. We need to see more of that in the second.
Indeed we do, and we'll see what comes of May. And Ryan Gosney just clearing his lines again. Another huge right boot over towards the right-hand side of the field. And Bournemouth win the initial ball and the second ball as well. Dimsmore across the back line from Bournemouth, and this one will be fizzed across towards Harvey Bertrand, Ryan Bertrand's brother, making his way up towards the halfway line. You can actually see the likeness between the two of them now. Now he's got a bit closer to us on this near touchline as Bertrand puts the ball towards us. Nippard back to his keeper, who's come out of the penalty area. In fact, he's in free kick range, the goalkeeper. That's about the best way to describe his position at the moment. Rossi now over on the left-hand side, back towards Dinsmore again. This one's played up towards Nippard. And Bournemouth will switch this one over towards the right-hand side. Hall with a bit of defending to do here. Just holding off his man, goes down on the edge of his own area, and that will go out straight for a goal kick.
Yeah, very good play from Sholing. They really have done very well in the second half. They've not really given Bournemouth a lot of space, a lot of place to work with, and they've been really well untouched. And it's not been the same second half for Bournemouth. And Sholing deserve a lot of credit for that. They've done very, very well in the second half. But as the game goes on, they will get time because they're running. So the initiative, they do need to try and get a goal. If they get a goal in the next 5 or so minutes, ooh, that will set a real grandstand finish, if you like. But there's still loads of time to go.
Loads of time, 20 minutes in fact, Mr. Henry. And Bournemouth now playing the ball across the back once again. This time Harvey Bertrand passes back to his goalkeeper. And Sholing just letting Bournemouth play the ball across the back. Bertrand. Here's Nippard. Again, Bournemouth just keeping the ball across the back line. Dinsmore now over towards the left-hand side. Up towards the halfway line now comes Zeno Rossi. In towards the middle of the park. Back to Dinsmore. Bertrand telling him to pass it to Kilkenny, who picks up the ball now on the right-hand side. A few blue flashing lights over in the distance on one of the main roads. It looks like an ambulance is heading somewhere. Back on the football field. Bournemouth now down the right-hand side again with Luke Nippard. This time goes towards the corner flag, looking to swing the ball in towards the box, is he? But Sholing again getting their defence right. And that one's gone out of the ground, I do believe. That's number 5.
Yep, number 5. I hope we get 3 more balls because it'd be nice to have the record on my second appearance on live commentary since September. But it's not looking like that, is it, really? So ball number 5 so far.
Well, you never know. It's nice to have you back sitting next to me. Matt Ogley, of course, couldn't be here tonight. He's busy doing some work for university. Of course, that has to come first. This is only a voluntary thing that we do for Radio Sonar. But tonight we're live streaming on YouTube again. As I said, the Monday night debate with Seb Zaney takes over, of course.
And I think we've just seen... Oh, no. I was going to say, I thought we'd see that game over for Dan Mason, but it's not Dan Mason. I think it's McLean as he's gone down off the ball, and I think it looks like it's game over for him.
Well, there's a few chants of happy birthday. I'm not sure who they're singing.
The physio's birthday.
Oh, there we go. Physio's birthday today. There we go. Nice little happy birthday from the Ultra fans there. And Physio running over, just giving the celebrations. But it's given a chance now for the players to go over towards Dave Diper in terms of Sholing, especially Dan Mason, just looking over at the bench, actually. Not sure what he's doing. He's still talking to the coach on the far side. That gives Dave Diper, he's given himself a little bit of time for a team discussion. The same with Bournemouth as well. I'm sure they'll take this time as well to have a discussion. All of them, in fact, going over now. It gives them a nice break in play. And the subs board looks as if it is going up. And it will be Sholing, I think, to make the substitution. And it is the first substitution for Sholing. Brad Targett's coming on in replacement of Marv McLean. So, does that mean, Luke, that Sholing are going for it with Targett on?
It's a change of formation. It'll be interesting to see how they adopt it now. They're going to go for... Is going to keep 4 at the back, or going to go 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3? So it'll be interesting to see what they've got, because they've got now Paul, Mason, Watt and Target on. So it'll be very interesting to see what they can actually conjure up here.
Maybe you can hit the target. You've got the 3 top goal scorers now on the field. I have to get that one in every single time. You have to mention it. Brad Target now on the field of play for Sholing. The first substitution made in the game, around about 72 minutes in. So we're very, very close. Jake Hall will run over to take the throw in on the far side, which is where we left off with play after the Marv McLean went down. Was launched forwards. Bournemouth now making their way down the right-hand side again. And Gavin Kilkenny will pick up the ball, and in fact it's Genesini. Luke Nippard playing the ball over towards Rossi on the left-hand side now as Bournemouth look to attack again. Zamora will look to pick up the ball. And again, searching for the run. Rossi now. Oh, he looks like he could have opened up a shot on his right foot. It'd have been an audacious attempt if he had. But again, Dinsmore And Anthony will let that one roll out for a throw to Sholing. And it looks as if Bournemouth really have dropped off in the second half.
I think that sums up their second half. Just a lapse in concentration, a bit just slower than everything. I don't know what it is. They were very good in the second half, in the first half, sorry, but they have not really seemed to have lived up to that in the second half. Why, I don't really know. I think it's a case of Sholing's tenacity, but here, as we say, that Bournemouth are coming forward now, but it's just a tenacious, their work rate, and they've done very well here, Sholing. They've won the ball back.
With Byron Mason, the captain, here is Brad Targett now down the left-hand side as the home fans pick up the voice here at the Universal Stadium, straight across goal. And that one will be knocked out for a corner to Sholing. We've seen Sholing from corners all throughout the season. Of course, they're unbeaten in the league with a 1 draw to their name not so long ago, that draw as well. But this is a cup competition, as we always say. Anything can happen in a cup competition. It's the only games that Sholing seem to have lost, and it's the first round in the Hampshire Senior Cup that Sholing have conceded a goal. As you rightly said earlier in the first half, Luke. But here is Jake Hall over on the far side. It will be his left foot to swing this one in towards the box. It's got some good height on it, over towards the far post. Headed back in again from Roundel. Almost dropped him from target. Cuthbertson knocks that one back out again. Hall in towards the box. Couldn't quite get the contact he wanted onto it. In towards the box again, over towards Wart. Roundel picks up the ball again. Mason now with a low driving shot. Byron Mason that was, of course. And that one will go out for a throw on this near side. Very interesting from Sholing. They're definitely putting the pressure on when they do move forward. It is interesting to see that they have kept a player back, of course, and Alex Sawyer again on the edge of the area, along with Owen Royal. In towards the box it goes again. Bournemouth not quite clearing it away. Dan Mason almost going for the half volley, and Bournemouth will clear that one away. Owen Royal will let that one roll back to his goalkeeper. Gosney had to get that one away very well. Hall upfield, and now Dan Mason will chase this one. It seems as though he's shaken off his injury, Dan Mason. Dan Miller still up there for Sholing. Lee Wart now switching it on towards his right. Couldn't get the shot away. And Sholing just trying to move forward. Couldn't get the shot away again. And Bournemouth will clear this one away. Zamora now down the left-hand side. Go Bournemouth. Here is Cope trying to keep the ball in play for Bournemouth. And that one will knock all the way back. For a moment I thought as though Dan Mason was okay, but he's now actually sat down just in the middle of the attacking half for Sholing. But Bournemouth will play on in the meantime as Mason just feeling his leg. Keep an eye on him, Luke, just to see what's going on there. And Nassini over on the right hand side, just about trying to keep the ball in play. That one will go out for a goal kick, but the referee now looking over to see what's happened to Dan Mason. He seemed fine as he ran forward there, but I think he's just stretched too much.
I don't think he's ever shaken off that earlier injury in the start of the second half between him and Kilkenny. He seemed to be quite innocuous. I think it was more of a boot on the foot, quite a sore one as well with the temperatures, but he hasn't been able to run it off. He's looked a bit gingerly, but it's going to be a massive miss because he is very key from set pieces. He's causing Bournemouth a lot of problems. So we'll actually see how they adapt and change this, but it seems to be that is the end of the night for Dan Mason, who has scored his 52nd goal this evening.
Well, we've seen Lee Wart pick up his 38th and 39th goal, but of course picking up that red card against Northwich Victoria in the FA Vase. And now we've seen Dan Mason score his 52nd goal, and it looks as if he might have to go off. Be interesting to see who Dave Diper is bringing on. And just waiting for the substitution to be made. And it will be Jack Nicholas that will replace Dan Mason. Dan Mason's had a fantastic game, and just unfortunately that injury, Luke, has meant that he had to come off.
Yeah, it's a shame. He's been very good, and he's had one chance he's taken his goal, so he's had a very good game. But Bournemouth, I think they'll be delighted to see the back of him, as they say on the commentary panel. So yes, it might change Sholing's plan now, but let's see what this does for the final 15 minutes. But it's a big miss for Sholing, but they're actually coming into themselves. They've been very good. So Jack Nicholas has come on now.
Let's see where Jack Nicholas sits into this team. There we go, 160 in attendance here at the Universal Stadium tonight, which is very good for a cold Monday evening affair in the Hampshire Senior Cup. Great to see so many of the regular fans, of course, in the clubhouse prior to kick-off, as always. And Sholing always picking up good numbers in the Wessex League, of course. Usual attendance is over 200, up to 300, maybe even 400 as well. And we really do appreciate the support that Sholing gets. And of course, for us here at Radio Sonar, it means more listeners of people around the ground as Bournemouth looking to push forward. That one will go all the way out for a goal kick to Sholing. That would be a real case of character for Sholing. Of course, now they've lost their target man in Dan Mason. It seems as though Lee Wart has stepped up into that role. Brad Targett on the left and substitute Jack Nicholas on the right of the front three, it seems, for Sholing.
Yeah, it is. It seems like Jake Paul's dropped to a more conventional left-handed side, maybe a wing-back sort of way. So yeah, they've got the three up front. They've kept the 4-3-3. It's going to be an interesting fight now to see what happens, and we see how they can cope without Dan Mason in his physical presence. But let's see what happens. Let's see if that actually gives something else for Bournemouth to worry about, or let's see if they seize the initiative. But they're on the possession now, as we speak.
Indeed they are. Here is Luke Nippard now. Over towards the right-hand side, almost finds its way through. Target up towards Wart. Wart holding up possession on the left-hand side, and Sholing just looking to clear the ball away from the pressure. Shouts for a handball from captain Gavin Kilkenny of Bournemouth, and it has been given by the referee. What I have noticed from watching Sholing this season, some of the players, they might be outlined as a striker, for example, or a left winger, but they do drop back into each other's positions very, very well. Something Dave Diper's got them working on in training over the years. He's always worked on having players just being able to rotate between different positions and having them have that inclusivity of being able to play at left back, play at right back, even play as a left forward, as that ball goes out for a throw to Bournemouth on this near side. I don't know if you've seemed to notice that in a couple of games you've been here, Luke, but in fact that throw now gone in favour of Sholing. But yeah, I'll get your opinion on that shortly. We'll wait for the throw to be taken. Jake Hall just throwing that one towards Owen Royal, who looks as if he's going to do the old Rory Delap of Stoke City and launch this one in towards the box. That's the best way to describe what this throw-in is going to do. Launched in towards the box, and the keeper might not get his hands to it. It's still dropped away. Anthony clears that one away towards the halfway line. But Luke, I don't know if you have noticed what I've been looking at the past couple of games, that the fact that players can rotate.
I think it's something to do with the modern game. I think now, if you even look at like, the full-backs as well, full-back used to be, 5-10 years ago, used to be a very, very defensive position. Now, if you're a full-back, you've got to be able to get up and even actually score some goals, create assists and great chances. And that's why we've been very impressed with Samoa's performance. You know, if you're a striker, you're number 10, now you need to be able to get the ball into feet, come deep, and, get the ball rather than just all about scoring goals. And so I think it's the way that football's just evolved over time. But it helps the team. It helps the team, like Dan Mason's just come off so they can revert to Lee Ward, who's played on the right wing all game, and now Jake Paul's gone to a conventional left-hand side of defence. They kept their balance as well. So it's good when you can have a team that can adapt and play different formations and different positions. I think it's very good.
Well, Bournemouth now on the attack in the final third, up towards the edge of the box, and Zamora again finally getting a good ball across the edge of the area, but it's gone straight through. I think that's gone out for a goal kick. It has, but it was a great low ball across the 6-yard area. It only needed a man in the blue shirts of Bournemouth just to tap it into the back of the net, but Sholing just about getting away with that one.
Yeah, it seems to be the negative thing of what we've just said. When you've got the strikers coming deep, then they're not even actually in the box. Then they're in the box. So the ball came in from Zamora there, and if you had like the likes of Anthony in the box, instead of dropping deep, he might be on the end of it. There was only Scrimshaw in the box, and it just evaded him. But yeah, it's getting near there, and showing us hanging in there, doing very well.
Again, Gosney clearing that ball upfield, up towards the halfway line, over towards the edge of the area. Now it's time for Sholing to chase. Lee Ward almost making his way through, fouls his man. And unfortunately for Sholing, that goes in a free kick in favour of Bournemouth. But Sholing proving they've got a bit of pace on them still in the second half as we close in towards the end of the game. We've probably got about 5 minutes left to go or so of the second half, plus added time, of course. We had 2 minutes at the end of the first half, so how many do you reckon we'll have? That's always a game I like to play, and I'll ask you for your man of the match as well very shortly, Luke, but a game that I like to play with all of my co-coms. I don't think I played it with Matt Ogley last time we did one, but how many minutes are going to be added on?
I'm going to say 3.
Okay, 3 from Luke Henry. There we go. Well, I usually say 3 or 4. 4's my go-to, especially when someone's on Sky. But of course, this game isn't being broadcast on Sky. It's being broadcast on Solent's journalism page, or it will be up tomorrow with the highlights with our very own Dave Miller filming tonight. Highlights should be edited tomorrow, of course, for this game. And here comes Anthony now over on the left-hand side, trying to win the ball back, but it's Byron Mason. We'll clear this one down the right-hand side, up towards the substitute Jack Nicholas, who will try and chase this one away from Rossley. Bournemouth again calm and comfortable in possession over on the left-hand side now. And again, Kilkenny just being nudged off the ball there, and Sholing will be given the play on. Nicholas winning the free kick there and Sholing given the advantage, nothing taken. And they've got themselves a good free kick, chance to get the ball in towards the penalty area and hopefully onto the head of someone to floop into the back of the net. It'd be a perfect goal.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth are starting to get a little bit frustrated now. Kenny, they're all getting a little bit dispossessed in midfield. It's not been a fluid Bournemouth that we've seen, and Sholing and the crowd are getting behind them as well. And Sholing can sense they can get something out of it, but however, from these set pieces, they've really got to make them count. Obviously, no Dan Mason now up front, no physical presence, but they've still got, targets to reach. They can get Dan Miller as well, Brian Mason as well. So you never know. You never know. They've been very, very good this second half, Sholing. And that, you could argue that their second half performance actually deserves a goal based on the both teams this second half.
Matt Ogley just confirming there on the live messages that no, I didn't play that game with him, unfortunately. It's a game that I do like to play. I must have forgot while we were tied up in Northwich, up in Cheshire, of course, a couple of weeks ago. Bournemouth now keeping the ball across the back, Sholing putting the pressure on. As in goes Jake Hall, referee just allowing play to carry on this near side. Good to see from the referee. No cards been given tonight either at the moment, but that could be the curse of the commentator, as we might see one just before the end of the game. About 5 minutes left to go of the second half. It's still Sholing 1, Bournemouth under-21s 1 in the Hampshire Senior Cup quarter-final. Not sure whether it goes to extra time or just to penalties. I believe it does go straight to penalties, but at the meantime, one of these two teams is looking to find a winner. Taylor. Anthony over towards Zamora. Keeping the ball in, Sholing winning the free kick over on the far side. And the referee just calling over Zamora now. Will it just be a talking to? Or is it the curse of the commentator and the yellow card come out? I don't think the yellow card's been needed tonight for the referee. He's had a very good game himself.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to bring out the yellow card. It'd be very harsh if he did. But yeah, Zamora again, blistering pace down the left-hand side. Didn't do very well. Lost the ball, but then a great challenge. And then, but obviously, the second challenge was just a bit too late. But the time is ticking, and it's getting closer and closer to that full-time whistle.
Well, of course, we will stay with you regardless of what happens. So whether it does go to extra time, we'll do extra time. If it goes straight to penalties, we will go straight to penalties. Of course, Ryan Gosney just putting the ball on the edge of the area. Fan to the right of us saying that it looks as if Ryan Gosney does want this game to go to penalties. Luke, we'll wait for this break of play to continue and then I'll ask you for your man of the match, so keep that in mind. Here comes Sholing on the way forward and it's dropped towards the substitute of Brad Targett. Targett towards Hall on the left foot and it's in towards the back of the net. What a fantastic goal! And Sholing, 3 minutes from time, look as if they've snatched this from Bournemouth and they're going through to the semi-finals of the Hampshire Senior Cup. And it's Jake Hall, Brad Targett, passing the ball to him. And Jake Hall firing it in. Will Dennis got a touch to it, couldn't keep it out. Into the top right-hand corner. 87 minutes gone. It's Sholing 2, Bournemouth 1.
You've got to give a huge amount of credit to Brad Targett. It's a great run off the ball to get to that space, and then when he gets into that space, he doesn't panic. He races the defender one-on-one on Rossi, but he doesn't panic. He turns back inside, and it's a great run. Like we said, the balance that Jake Paul's given, he's running down the line. It's a great pass through him, and he doesn't have to break stride, and it's a great left foot hit right over the top of the goal. Dennis does make a touch, but do you know what? The strike is so fierce. He has a... The hand is not strong enough, and it goes into the back of the net. And like I said just 5 minutes ago, that surely deserved that. They've been very, very good in the second half. And Bournemouth, compared to their first half performance, haven't been as good as they were.
Well, 3 minutes plus stoppage time now for Sholing to hold on to what could be a very, very good victory and putting them through to the semi-finals. Bournemouth on the attack. Kilkenny straight away pushing forward. And now we're going to see the attacking prowess of Bournemouth really turn themselves on. Zamora over towards the left-hand side. Back to Dinsmore, Sholing with a lot of defending to do. They've done very well all game so far to hold Bournemouth to just the one goal going in. Bournemouth looked very strong in the first half and have sat back in the second half, and now finally Sholing have broken them down and got the goal they wanted, and now it's a test of character for the Sholing defence. Here is Anthony on the edge of the area, flicking one in on the left. Great save, pushed away by Ryan Gosney to keep that one at bay and from finding the back of the net. Bournemouth very close there as they keep the ball in possession. Quick throw. Anthony now looking to skip his way in towards the box. That one will drop and Gosney will pick that one up and let this game calm down again.
There might only be 2 minutes left, but it's going to be a long 2 minutes plus the stoppages, because Anthony again, he's picking up in the tight space. It's a lovely 1-2, which we're sure. A great effort save, but a great save from Gosney. And you can hear the fans saying, a great concentrate, lads. They need to concentrate. They can't throw it away now. They've done very well to get into this position and they deserve it. But it's going to be a tough 3 or so minutes left.
I'll tell you what, Brad Targett just chasing the ball. It's gone out for a Sholing throw. The goalkeeper's gone down, and it will be Will Dennis that just looks as if he took a knock there as he ran out to try and win the ball. Very brave goalkeeping indeed. I think he's okay. And it's probably just the old precaution. The ball is in Sholing's favour for the throw-in. Keeper's out of goal. Just take a throw. Keeper is limping, and there's what is it? The old another old cliche that the fact that the keeper's injured. Let's get some shots away on him. And as we approach the final minute of the 90, be a long throw in. The Rory Delap throw from Royal in towards the box. Sholing looking to seal the victory with one final goal before the end of the game. It's up towards target, trying to hook it in towards the back of the net. Now Bournemouth will break if they can. Royal. This time Miller, who's moved his way forward. Dan Miller being told to get back. Dan Miller's happy to stay forward, but now he's being shouted. The shouts of Miller is finally running his way back. And here comes Zamora now. Zamora looks as if he's just dropped in a bit of pace. He must be getting tired now. He's been working his socks off throughout the full game. Bournemouth still yet to make that substitution, and maybe that might pay, that they haven't brought on any fresh legs. And Cuthbertson down the right-hand side. And that one will go out for a throw to Sholing. Luke, now that goal's gone in, we can calm down. Where's your man of the match going this evening?
See, it's an interesting one because normally as the commentator you always give it to the team that's in front and winning. However, I'm not going to do that. I don't know if that's the right thing to do, and I still have to give it two. I'm going to have to give it just... It's a close one. If I had to pick one, I'm going to just shade it and give it to Jordan Samora because I think he's been absolutely terrific in that left-hand side. He's been up and down like a yo-yo. He's been on the back. He's got the assist and he's defended really well. And he also has attacked really well. And he looks very good. Oh,
I'll tell you what there, sorry to interrupt you. Brad Target, audacious over the head kick attempt just over the top of the crossbar, but there you go. Jordan Zamora gets the man of the match from us here this evening. And you were correct, 3 minutes added on. Well done, you get the point today. No prizes, of course, but you get the point. And points for this fight don't mean prizes. Bournemouth, 3 minutes to save their Hampshire Senior Cup efforts. Sholing, 3 minutes to hold on and make their way to the semi-finals once again. They keep doing it, Sholing. They keep putting the pressure on. Sholing are unstoppable this season. They've only lost 3 games, as we keep mentioning. Unbeaten in the league with the 1 draw to their name. It's the invincible season. Surely now for Dave Diper and his boatmen. Ryan Gosney going to take enough time as he launches this one with his right foot. So the noise from the Sholing Ultras coming from our right-hand side, that should give the team a bit of motivation. Bournemouth still with a bit of pressure to deal with. And the defensive work they've done all game, well, Bournemouth have got everything to give now. And Sholing just looking for that long ball upfield. That one will drop away to Giannasini. And Bournemouth will attack again down the middle. Nippard looking to play the ball down the right-hand side. It's in towards Anthony. Gets the shot away on his right foot. Just over the bar. The Sholing fans happy that that one's gone over. But a great counter-attacking play from Bournemouth, the Cherries. But that one gone to waste again.
Yeah, I know I've given Jordan Samora the man of the match. I've got to say, Jed Anthony's been absolutely sensational. He's really been alive right Bournemouth. Everything's gone through him. And again, unlucky there with the effort. But time is running out for Bournemouth, and Sholing deserve what they have so far.
Not long left to go. Shouts for the ref. How long left? And that really does say that really does say that the players are nervous now, but they're still putting in the pressure that they need to. As over goes Jack Nicholas, the substitute. It seems as though with Dan Mason off, Sholing haven't changed the way that their game plan has been going about. They've just replaced a few players, moved them into different positions. It's paid off for Dave Diper so far, with about a minute and a half left of stoppage time. Well. Nervous minutes for us here in the commentary position, and those 22 men on the field of play, and of course everyone on the touchline as well. This time Bournemouth playing down the right hand side up towards Scrimshaw. And Sholing just again working their magic in defence, and the referee blows the full-time whistle, and Sholing are in the semi-finals of the Hampshire Senior Cup. It's finished here at the Universal Stadium. Sholing 2, AFC Bournemouth under-21s 1, and you can hear by the excitement of the analysis there from Sholing FC how much that means to this club. Finally back on winning ways in a cup competition into the semi-finals. Luke, what a performance from the boatmen.
Do you know what a performance, because they really deserved it. The opening 25 minutes, 30 minutes in the first half, it was very good for Bournemouth. They were very good, they were very sharp on the ball, got used to the pitch 1-2. Obviously they said they were moaning about it before the kick-off, but they were very good, intricate passing, keeping the ball fluid, and they gave Sholing a really torrid time. Obviously they took the lead through Jordan Anthony as well. But you know what, then Sholing got the equaliser from Dan Mason like 5 minutes after, and we said that was a perfect time to score. Can they come out in the second half? And then, do you know what? Based on the second half performance, they were brilliant. They really battled, and they got their winner. And it was a great goal from Jake Paul to win the game. Bournemouth will be disappointed in themselves because they didn't play the same way in the second half. But you got to give them credit. They are a very good team. We've got some very good players, and we'll probably see some of these in the future. If not, but credit to Sholing, another win for a remarkable season, and we wish them all the best from here in the semi-finals. But a credit to them. But what was so interesting just before, again, we've seen another thing from Premier League teams. No matter what it is in the last minute, teams will never want to push up forward. They'll rather keep the ball possession, work their way up the pitch, no matter if there's a minute to go or 5 minutes to go. And you know what? You've got to give credit to Sholing. They played their game, and Dave Dyber's game plan was spot on. Before I go, just want to say to Matt Ugly, if he's listening, I hope I've done a very good job of it being him on the co-coms. I hope I've put him to shame or anything like that. Or I hope I haven't disheartened him. So, hello, Matt. Hope you're well, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you very much, Luke, for joining me this evening. As I said, it's finished here at the Universal Stadium, Sholing 2, Bournemouth under-21s 1. It's been a fantastic spectacle to watch tonight. Sholing through to the Hampshire Senior Cup semi-finals. Thank you very much for